and welcome back. We're going to be doing part 2 of the Spotlight review for LeNalgasSucias's. I'm not going to waste much time. Let's just get right into it. We got another Mercy Spray. There we go, for good luck. Good target choice. This is pretty safe, Fortunately, he LOS's, then we're forced to move. Well, right here. Our Bastion is LOSing us. We don't really want to walk out into the open and then go back over here. Much safer option is to just take a few steps to the right. And look at that, we can see him again. We don't have to risk ourselves flying out over here and then flying back over here and risking getting railgunned or rocketed or flailed or whatever. We do eventually get to this spot. It works out. We're switching a lot between healing and DPS, but we don't really need to since he's already full health. You can just full hold onto DPS. A trick that I actually learned was that you want to always be holding right click for damage boost on a target. And then when they need healing, then you keep holding right click, but you click left click to heal them, and then once you let go of left click, you're automatically damage boosting again. That way, you're not wasting any time switching between the two. Definitely hold on to damage boost, and then just like lightly tap the healing when they take a little bit of damage. But you generally want to be damage boosting majority of the time, especially if they're full health. See, like right here, this is probably where you would want to go up with your Hanzo, because we see him taking an aggressive position. We want to make sure that he is covered, that he'll stay alive. Yeah, see, because right now he's critical, he's in trouble. He could easily die here. He does manage to kill the Sombra. He's still critical, I do remember in this game saying, hey, use me as a stepping stone, go up to heal the Hanzo, please. This is kind of off topic, but it's nice to have a mic for situations like these where I'm Diana, and I know I can't heal the Hanzo in this moment, but I know that you can, so I can use my mic, say, hey, use me real quick to get up to the top, can you heal the Hanzo for me? Good job keeping your Ana topped up, because they were gunning for her. Managed to get away. Now we're kind of in that position where everybody was up here, but the fight has now changed. Everybody has dropped down. So I don't know that you really want to be up here by yourself. You probably do want to regroup with your team. Either drop down here or come through here and drop down and be safe again. You're kind of alone. Okay, you did drop down.
I am unbreakable.
Okay, you fly to your Bastion, who's nanoed, and you're damage boosting him. Oh, this is such a beautiful sight. And you're... oh, wait. Okay, damage boosting, we're healing. Damage boosting, healing. At this point in time, our Bastion hasn't really taken any damage, so we're just kind of wasting some damage boost time to heal when he doesn't really need it. Your Hanzo could probably use it, but for right now, your Bastion's pretty good. You do take care of the Hanzo. We heard the Brig ult, and we go for a res. That's dangerous only because when Brig ults, her shield bashes actually stun people, so she could very easily cancel your res animation right now. But luckily, it looks like she has other plans. She's chasing down someone else. So you do manage to get the res off.
Heroes never die.
We see the Mercy, who's very vulnerable right now. Chasing her down. You stop the res. Nice job. I know I said it a couple times in the last review, but if you have other people near you, you generally want to pocket them instead of going for damage yourself. However, because the Mercy was so low, I don't hate that you'd switch to your your pistol to try to finish her off. Especially since I mean sometimes as a Hanzo, it's hard to hit your shots like when they're all up in your face. So this I don't hate, the pistol here. But then right here her health is almost all the way back. And we're still trying to pistol her. Yeah, she's almost full health now. It would take a lot of your Mercy bullets to kill this Mercy here, but it only really takes one Hanzo arrow to land on her, especially if it's boosted. If he gets a juicy headshot, then that's it. She's gone. So I'd say, yeah, once, like when she was low, it's fine, use your pistol, but once the health comes back and she's no longer low, that's when you want to switch back to damage boosting your Hanzo. Yeah, see? Remember what I said about sometimes when you're playing Hanzo and people are all up in your face, it's a little hard to hit your shots. This is what we're witnessing right now. Was that a hit right there? I think the Hanzo hits her. You end up finishing her off. You headshotted the hell out of that Mercy. You know what? I'm gonna say that was fine. That was fine. That's fine. Especially since she was locked in that rezzing animation. That was a pretty easy kill on her. So you know what? I'm gonna say DPS Mercy in this situation. It's fine. It's good. Okay, we're getting chased by the Bika. Things are getting dicey. Here, however, we're deciding to DPS Mercy again because we saw the other Mercy. We kind of just left our Diva out to dry. So now she's getting finished off. And we're chasing the Mercy that isn't even in this room anymore. We've lost sight of her. Guess what? Now you're alone. You're in this room. You have nobody to fly to. Your Diva's about to die. Your Bastion and your Ana are just getting back to the fight. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to save your Diva. Yeah. Because she's on the other side of this wall. So now you're SOL here. They're not going to let you leave. When you have a low health target, go ahead, whip out your pistol. Try to get that kill. But chasing down the enemy Mercy as soon as you see them, that is not advisable. No matter how good you are with the pistol. Right here you got two options. It's either you can stay in this safe little corner right here, damage boost the Bastion, or you could decide to go over with your Hanzo. Either one works. I would just say kind of take a look at where your other healer is and who they're going to be healing. So Ana goes over here. So she can see the Bastion and she can see the Diva. Ana can kind of get like a little bit of healing off on the Hanzo, like in this little corner. But if he starts getting pressured, like if the Sojourn jumps up here and is now on top of him, and if I'm the Hanzo and a Sojourn jumps into my face, and let's say I get critical, I'm not gonna run forward so that I can get healed by an Ana that I don't even know is there, let's be honest. Instead, I would probably, you know, panic, back up a little bit, maybe turn and go around this corner if I'm the Hanzo. In that case, I would want to have a Mercy who's watching my back here. So, right here, you'd probably want to be damage boosting the Hanzo just because he's so far away from the rest of your team. So you could even, like, stand right here. That way, you can damage boost him, and if things get dicey down there, you're still able to beam people from this spot right here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Healing the Bastion. Okay, hide in the bomb. Your Ana and your Bastion both died of the bomb. Okay, it looks like you your Hanzo did get pressured, strangely enough, by the enemy Mercy. But he took care of things. Okay, here. You know, we switch damage boost. Damage. Okay, we healed him for a second. He didn't really need it. It's fine. Okay, we switched to healing before he really needed it. Still healing, still healing. I mean, he needed like 2 HP there, but...
That's better.
Okay, now he needs healing. And now he's pretty good. Oh. Took a bit of damage, you healed it up right away. Now he's good, he doesn't really need healing. We're still healing him. We're still healing him. Okay, he did need that healing there. Now we can switch to damage. We're still healing him, and we died. Let's take a look from the Hanzo's point of view. We got a body shot on the Tracer. Okay, we got another body shot on the Tracer. Would we have been able to kill this Tracer if we were damage boosted? Maybe. She might have died right there. We're getting healed. Okay, we missed that shot.
Not so fast.
Miss another. Now we're in trouble. We're in a bad spot. We got another body shot on the Sojourn, but she doesn't die. If we were damage boosted, we probably could have killed her, but we didn't.
Your concern touches
We
me.
missed another shot. Missed another shot. Oh no. Things are looking a little grim here. Okay. Oh no. Lose the mercy. We do get a body shot. And eventually we get the Tracer. Things could have gone a little bit differently had we been damage boosting the Hanzo instead of healing him the whole time. Obviously there were some points where he needed the healing, but there was a lot more time where he didn't need the healing and we were just holding healing on him. And he could have possibly gotten a kill on the Sojourner or the Tracer. That would have made this fight so much easier. After you kill one of them, then it's just 2v1. A pocketed Hanzo versus one Tracer or one Sojourn. That goes a lot differently than a pocketed Hanzo versus a Tracer and a Sojourn. Whenever your pocket target is full health, or really close to full health, try to damage boost them more instead of holding that healing. I know you want to heal them as soon as they take damage, but you're lowering the amount of damage that they are putting out. In situations like these, it's costing you the fight. Okay, Mana dies. Okay. Once again, like right now, Bastion full health, our tank full health, our Hanzo full health. We don't need to be healing them right now. We can just hold damage boost. Okay, now it's just our tank that's getting healed. You probably don't want to be focusing on the tank right now because he's full health. You want to be damage boosting, or you want to be healing this Hanzo right here. Granted, he's kind of not in your line of sight, so it's kind of poor positioning on his side. Okay, we're pocketing the Doom. We got our Bastion over here, who I think is in the process of dying. He probably could have used the pocket a little bit more than a tank. Once again, tanks are really beefy. It takes a lot to kill them. But squishies, they die pretty easily. So you generally want to pocket your DPS and your squishies. Looks like it's now just you and the tank. I don't see this going in your favor all that much because they got 1, 2, 3, 4 people alive. Okay. So your tank is very low. He should be trying to get out right now. He failed to get out. You want to get out. There's nobody to fly to.
Take back the robot.
Okay, you figure this is the end. Right here. If you had just taken a little peek over here, you would have seen that there is now someone you can fly to and maybe get out. You're still living. You're still living. The big health packs are saving you. But instead of flying out, we're trying to get the kills. There were probably 2 or 3 times you could have flown out of there. But because you committed to the DPS, you lost your opportunity and you end up dying. Okay, your other healer is dead. So right now your team has no healing. Let's see where you are. You're barely coming into existence in spawn. So yeah, team's not gonna have healing for a little bit here. So your Bastion dies. Hanzo's very low. Tank's very low. Are you back yet? I feel like you should have been back by now.
Let's put a stop to that! Disrupting!
Incoming!
Making a full recovery.
Okay.
Feel my
Okay, so we wasted a little bit of time in spawn, just waiting, well, not waiting, but kind of perusing the hero menu and choosing who we want to be. I mean, it's fine to make switches, especially when things aren't working out. Just do keep in mind that if you wait until after the kill cam to make your switch, you're like right now, if you had just run out a little bit sooner, you probably could have saved the Bastion here. But because we took that full 8 seconds of the kill cam and then we took an extra couple seconds to choose a hero, now we're kind of wasting time, and our teammates, they need you in the fight right there. Because a lot could happen in those couple seconds that we're gone. Let's see. By the time you get to the fight, who's still alive?
No sweat. Just try again.
Pretty's low. We lost 2. Only tank is left.
A cure for all that ails.
At this point, it's probably a little too late. I would say the Doom is probably doomed. I don't think the orb is gonna reach him in time. And if anything, the D.Va might just eat the orb. I did notice you used your shift to get a better angle to throw orb, but now you're gonna be in this position. Now you're gonna be caught out here. There's not really a whole lot of cover unless you take a few steps back and get into this room. Or you run back over here and like use this rock, or just backtrack and just go back to spawn. But you've kind of wasted your cooldown here on a fight that was already lost. And you go to do a little bit of damage. So because we used our shift to kind of get into this position and we just kind of stayed here, we still have 2 seconds till we can get out of here with shift. Or with fade. It might be a little too late now to backtrack, because they've killed the Doom. Everybody's now focusing their attention on the 2 people that are here. This is not a place you want to be. You want to get to cover as soon as possible.
I require assistance.
Okay, good job. You use cover. It's still pretty dangerous because they're gonna be coming up on you any second now. So you probably want to keep backing up at least until your team gets back from spawn.
Effective.
All right, good.
Your team has lost the lead.
Right here, you could probably poke out a little bit. Just give your Bastion a little bit of healing.
This ends now.
Oh, never mind. Other healer has it.
I offer something more.
So that orb wasn't really necessary. He had already been healed up to full. You could have probably used the damage orb there. Just walk up to the corner and just chuck one. Even though, like, Moira orbs aren't really effective against a D.Va, because she can just right-click and it disappears forever. So you just want to be aware of that going forward with Moira against a D.Va. Uh-oh, that's... Oh, thank goodness. Nobody died.
I am grateful.
I'm grateful too, Hanzo. Right here. Doom is missing a bit of health. It's not too bad right now, but it looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole people looking at him right now. He has left our line of sight. He's LOSing us. We can't really see him all that well. And like I said, throwing an orb might not help him because the diva will just eat it, so you do want to just hold left click. Problem is you are now in a position to heal him. You do get in a spot where it's safer for you, but now you can't see the doom. And he ends up dying because he's not getting enough healing. I don't know that that was necessarily your fault. It was more he was LOSing both of the healers and couldn't get any healing. Yeah, I wouldn't say this was on you. He could have played that a lot safer.
You're broken.
Okay. Now you and Brig are caught out, backing up. Oh man. There was an assassination attempt on your Brig just now. The other... Nice job pocketing your Brig like that. You saw that the other Brig was out for blood and you peeled. You did the thing. Good job. Unfortunately, they are still pushing.
Must stop their barricade.
Well, I mean, all I can say is that your Brig is thankful. You're allowed to teabag there. I allow it. Okay, right here. There's 4 whole people right here. What are they looking at? When they look over here? One single Moira. So who do you think they're gonna be shooting at? You're exposing yourself, you're tanking, and you don't really need to be, because like the rest of your team, they've realized there's a crap ton of damage coming through this lane right here, and they're hiding, they're using the cover. You probably want to be doing that as well.
Your end is within my reach.
Okay, you did move.
To me!
Okay. Right here, your Brig is ulting. I will say, if you're Moira, you generally don't want to be like in the back lines. Right now you're, well, besides the person in spawn, you are the farthest away from the action that's going on right now. And when you're this far, like, this healing, this is not gonna reach. The only person you can heal is your Hanzo. Your Hanzo's in a pretty safe spot. He doesn't need healing. People who are gonna need healing are your tank and your Brig. Because as you can see, your Brig just ulted, so they're gonna be very aggressive right now. So you're gonna want to pocket them. Which means you don't want to be back here, really. So you're gonna want to push up. Okay. That was a close call, but we get there. We could have been a little bit faster getting to the front. When you're Mercy and you see one of the people on your team is going for a play or going to make space or something, taking a high ground, you want to push up with them. You're not Mercy now, but we did notice that the Brig was ulting and the Doom was pushing up, so they were trying to make a play, so you would want to push up with them and support them in that moment. What's going on? Symmetra's going on a solo adventure. Oh, our Hans is with them. Right here. I want you to take a look around. I want you to ask yourself, if I'm here and my other healer's here, who's taking care of those guys? You always want to have one healer able to basically heal everybody at all times. What I mean by that, if your Brig is right here, she's healing the tank. So that means you would want to go over this way and support your other DPS. And this could work, because if you go over here and you're throwing damage orbs, you're helping them DPS, and you can, you know, spritz a little bit of Febreze on them. This would be much more effective. There's less of a chance of your DPS dying, and you're getting to do DPS at the same time. It's a win-win. Alternatively, if the Brig was over here with the DPS, you would want to stay with the Doom here. And kind of, whenever you see that he's gonna be like punching someone, you can throw a damage orb and get a little bit extra damage, do some follow-up damage on whatever person that he's attacking. Always try to make sure that the people on your team are covered, even if they go off on like solo adventures like this. Obviously, if they're off, like if they're running into the enemy spawn way over here, then that's when you abandon them, because that's way too far. But like a position where these two are taken up, this isn't too far. This is close enough that if you were healing them from this spot, you could still easily fall back and rejoin your other side of your team. So this is close enough that even though they're off on their own, they're still contributing to the fight that's happening. Your Smash is doing things. Let's see. Okay, so your Symmetra actually comes back to the fight. That's good. It would have been better and more safe if you had been there with her, but that worked out. You guys have killed 2. From what you can see right now, see this big, glowing, ominous-looking aura on this Sojourn? Her railgun is charged and ready to murder. And who is in the front lines? That would be... probably you. The Symmetra's kind of behind the wall, out of her sight. I would want to avoid being up front. I know you're like chasing down trying to get kills, but you can try to use the wall as cover, so that way you can still do damage and then dip around if you need to. Or even on this side, this could work too. Not as safe, because like the soldier can still see you. Or even just like use the robot as some cover. Right click, maybe throw an orb. Because if you throw an orb, see how the D.Va's looking to the left? If you throw an orb right now, it's going to hit this wall. Bam. It's going to go this way. And you're going to be doing damage on the Sojourn. The D.Va's probably going to miss it. So she'll have to be forced to either go chase down the orb, which means she turns her back to your team and you guys can do more damage to her, or she'll have to ignore it to face you guys. And then the orb is doing damage to the Sojourn. And that'll probably force the Sojourn to back up a little bit. But either way, you probably don't want to be, like, this far up without some place to go for cover. Granted, you do have Shift, but Shift is not going to save you if the Sojourn headshots you first. Let's see what happens. Okay, you did back up.
I'm fired up right now. Coalescence is almost ready.
We're exposing ourselves just a little bit. See, the Sojourn is right there. The D.Va's a little far back. But the Sojourn is able to see you and do damage to you. So you probably don't want to be in this little open spot. Either back up a little or go forward and commit to being around, like this corner right here. This would be okay. Okay, our tank is sticking with the payload. Your healer is over here. Is this a throw move? Maybe. Other healer might be throwing, but other healer probably thought that the rest of the team was going to be pushing up since we do have a Doomfist. Yeah. Your Doomfist probably doesn't want to be the one on the robot. Probably leave that to Symmetra or to you. Probably Symmetra's better. Your Brig has noticed that they were alone, so they're coming back to regroup. Yeah, right here. The D.Va's pushing your Brig. She's actively using Matrix on a Brig for some reason. Doesn't quite work. But it does work against your orb, which you are throwing into the void here. I see why you did it, but it's not going to be effective.
Your team is close to taking the lead.
Wait. Okay, well the D.Va got booped off. Okay, as you can see, you're not really doing a whole lot to the people on this high ground. So in that case, you probably want to follow suit with the rest of your team and wrap around this corner. That way you can actually see what's going on. You can even throw a couple damage orbs. Bounce through here. Do some damage. This is winnable still. I do notice you have your coalescence, so you could very much win this fight.
I offer something more.
Looks like you're on robot duty. Somebody's gotta be on the payload, right?
My power emanates.
Okay. Looks like your brig is in trouble. I don't think you can do much for her. Wait, how did your brig get over there?
Behold my exceptionality.
Oh, so okay. Your brig was chasing the Mercy. Oh, the Mercy's so low. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was your brig's bad. I'm not gonna say they were throwing, but might have been throwing. Just a teensy bit. You guys were all the way back here, which is fine because that's where the robot is, and this is a good corner to hold. But because your brig went chasing after the Mercy, then they got stuck in kind of a weird position. They could have backed up, gone back to you guys, but they decided to push up. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. Okay, so you're the only healer at this point.
Viable progress.
Where's your tank?
Team has taken the lead.
Tank is still on the way back, it looks like.
I am outstanding.
Surrender to my will.
Oh my. Ooh. Ooh. Oof. Oof. Okay, I know I saw a tracer bomb somewhere. Where did it go? Because it looked like it was right on top of you.
Gale the Mahal.
Okay, she throws a bomb and misses. You evade it, and then you almost, you almost killed yourself right there by walking right back into the bomb. Luckily, you didn't die. It was on this slope. But you very easily, like, look at that. The very tip of your clothing there got hit. That was almost a death right there. You did have your fade right there. You could have used that just to play it safe. 'Cause that was pretty risky. You almost died.
Unassailable prowess.
Okay, there's a little bit of panic going on here. You're like, oh my goodness, where'd she go? Where'd she go? Kind of like, yeah, you're kind of just standing out in the open, just looking like left and right, like who can I damage? Who can I damage? But the only person that can be damaged is you. Because you're standing in the middle of the road, and they now have a widow. If you don't see anybody that can be damaged, try not to stand in one place and like be looking around like crazy. Always try to be near some cover or behind some cover. Because especially if you know that you're in a spot where their spawn is right there and people could be coming out any second, try to use cover. So this spot's not too bad. Because the widow could see us before when we were on the right side of the road over here. But now because you switched to the left side over here, this nice little truck right here is actually blocking her view, so she can't really see you all that well. That's a pretty good spot. Yeah. She can still see, but like from here, she can only really see the top of Arisa's head.
Warning.
Yeah, see right there? You are just completely exposed to her. Luckily she misses. Now she can't really see you. Only tall characters like Arisa are exposed on that left side. Okay. We're back to this side of the road, but now it's fine because as we can see, our Symmetra has used her ultimate. So now we've got this gigantic shield that's providing cover. We can push up. There's a lot going on here. I did catch a flash. Down here it looks like your healer's getting pressured, but nobody's really helping out. tank is kind of like just watching everybody cross and not doing anything about it.
A cure for all the rails.
Okay, you do try to help your healer. A little dangerous to just drop down in front of the enemy team that's chasing your brig. However, they do turn around because your team has finally decided to step in. Let's see. Okay, you helped your brig, you peeled, good job.
The barricade is advancing. We must move quicker.
Oh no. So we do end up dying to the widow. Yeah, that widow is just totally uncontested, just shooting at once again. Like our whole team is just exposed here. So you probably want to, like, if you hide behind this truck right here, you could still be with the robot. It'll still move, and you can still throw your healing orbs out. Otherwise, you probably want to like jump over here, use this cover, be with your brig and your Orisa. Even like if you had just stayed behind the robot, if you go underneath the robot's legs, you can actually just hang out in this little space right here. So you're kind of covered from the back and the front when you're down here. So yeah, either here or in here or moving off to the side over here. These are all good spots. But yeah, basically, if you know there's a widow on the enemy team, try not to be in these big open spaces, especially since your tank is pushed up and to the side over here. They can't really protect you. Honestly, tank should be probably pushed up a little bit more. But you guys end up getting it anyway. So the number one mistake that I've been noticing is that you tend to overheal people when instead you could be maximizing damage. You always want to try to get more damage in because that will help you win fights more often than just healing alone. Basically try to be as efficient as possible and only heal when you need to. Oh, I was very impressed by your peeling in this game, and not just because I was the other healer. Sometimes you get healers that don't really pay attention to the other healer, and that's never fun, being the one healer who looks out for others but you don't get anything in return. You're doing great in that aspect. I know that whoever's your other healer will greatly appreciate it. And lastly, positioning. Noticing a couple instances where you were out in the open when you don't really need to be. With Moira, it can sometimes be fine if they don't have characters that can one-shot you immediately. But with things like Widows and Sojourn Railgun, and even like the Stray Hanzo arrow, poking out like that is really gonna hurt you. Because if they get a one-shot off on you, like, your fade isn't gonna do anything. You're dead before you can press shift. So just try to play a little bit safer, use corners. And like I said, positioning in relation to your teammates is important. So try to recognize who on your team is being aggressive and making space and try to support them. And this goes for all healers, not just Moira or Mercy. You helping them greatly increases the chances of them being successful in making that play. And that helps the rest of your team. Just remember, if they're pushing up too far, abandon them. There's no shame in it. Support them so long as you are in a safe position. And that wraps up part 2 of this 2-part spotlight review with LeNalgasSucias's. If you'd like to see more of their epic battle mercying, I will put the link to her Twitch down below in the description. She's very fun to watch. I suggest go and take a look at her, maybe leaving her with a follow, tell her I sent you. If you would like some coaching of your own, I will also be putting the link to my Fiverr down below in the description. I hope this was helpful, maybe help some of you guys realize some of the mistakes you're making that you're not aware of. But with that, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time.